This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. By Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers, where you can report crimes and get paid with nobody knowing your identity. Call 1-800-780-TIPS. By Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated. No matter what the weather condition is outside, have it your way inside. 239-693-1569. And by Lee Health. Southwest Florida, welcome to another edition of Lee Pitts Live. And I'm so glad you put us on your list of things to do. And I know you're going to be happy as well. You know that Lee Pitts Live tries to get in the community and capture the stories before they unfold, because we cover what's important. What's important today is the Community Press newspaper. I've said it here and I've said it again, my favorite newspaper in the world. I read it every month, and I'm so thrilled to be here at their new physical location on Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, right there in the Veronica Shoemaker Plaza. You can come in here now and actually see that fine staff that you've been seeing in the newspaper for the past 5 years. When we come back, it's the Community Press newspaper for the entire show, Lee Pitts Live this Sunday morning on Fox 4. We'll be right back. PAL is here. The Fort Myers Police Athletic League, or PAL, as it is popularly called, is an important part of Chief Diggs' community engagement initiative to bring sports programs to young children and teenagers that promote strong character, positive life skills. Sports include football, basketball, and boxing programs. There's also cheerleading. For more information, contact Senior Program Coordinator Keith White at 239-896-7191 or email him at dwight@fmpolice.com.
Sick and tired of sitting in traffic, staring at the back end of the car in front of you? Sick of burning through hundreds of dollars worth of fuel each month? Tired of dishing out more and more money to fix your car just to have it break again? Ride Letran and leave the driving to us. Whether you want to go shopping, go to the beach, or commute to work or school, let Letran get you there. It's just $1.50 per ride. Check Letran's routes, maps, schedules, and discounted rates at rideletran.com. That's rideletran.com. Letran, your ride is here.
Have you or a loved one been the victim of crime at an apartment complex or shopping mall or nightclub? If you think that crime could have been prevented, then you may have a case. Call me, Attorney Joe North, at 239-337-1191.
Servicing Southwest Florida for over 30 years, Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated is your leading family-owned and operated air conditioning company. There's no job too big or too small. Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated is here for you. We have maintenance contracts and financing. For additional information, visit our website, follow us on social media, or call the office at 239-693-1569.
Remember, no matter what the weather is on the outside, have it your way on the inside.
Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated.
Service you can count on.
The Community Redevelopment Agency was always very supportive of anybody bringing a new and unique business. So they helped everybody along to try to navigate what you got to figure out in regards to licensing and seating and store opening hours. And they also helped a lot with the establishment of the events that are going on in downtown. We have Art Fest, Art Walk, Music Walk, Bike Night, numerous events throughout the year.
Fort Myers Community Redevelopment Agency. Growing businesses, rebuilding communities, redesigning Fort Myers for the future.
We're back to Lee Pitts Live. Thanks for staying with us here on Fox 4, my favorite newspaper. Of course, the Community Press, been around 5 years now. Historic time for a fabulous newspaper that has covered it from gavel to gavel. We are physically here on location for the entire show. Let's get a chance to meet some members of the Community Press staff. Let's start off with you, Bodie.
All right.
Got a real name, Ernest Bodie. The reason I want to start off with you because I don't get you on TV every day. And every time I've done a show on the community press, that name Bodie comes up. And then when I look in the back of the paper at the staff and everybody, I see your name. And now I put the name with the face.
All right.
Bodie, what's your responsibility with the community press?
Well, my responsibility as distribution manager, when they go to the press, my job is to go pick it up from the press, and I have about 100 locations, which I'm responsible for getting the papers to, not only in Lee County, but Naples, Collier County. I have Lehigh Acres and Cape Coral. And whatever others that we might, have extras over, I would leave them there to one that don't have ads or whatever in the paper. Because people are real hungry and thirsty for these papers. Because every month, if we're late, they want to know what happened, why we're late with them, because they want to see something positive. They're tired of all the negativity, so when we have positive stuff in these papers, and people are hungry to see them, then they want to see the self in there. Like sometimes they have articles or ads in their pictures, and they're anxious to see those. So my responsibility is to get them out to the public as quickly as I can, and I try to be prompt to get everybody. And you do
a great job.
Yes.
Ernest Bodie McMillan.
That's right.
Hey, Ernest, I'm going to come back to you, but I want to get this in. I just look forward to getting my paper all the time. So tell us some of the responses you get from people when you bring the paper, when they're waiting for their paper and they get their hands on it. Tell us some of that positive feedback you get.
Well, when they know they're going to be in there, like I say around in Easter, like we have the Easter parade, and they know that, well, maybe Jackie, whoever's taking pictures of the parade, they know they're going to be in there, and they look forward for that, people. And Easter, like holidays and things, when they have, or even like graduation time coming up, they look forward. Just something to be proud of that they can show. And then sometimes I take have it to that page where their pictures are so they can see it when I bring it to them, and they light up like Christmas tree.
I love it,
and that
man.
just warms my heart.
You're like the mailman bringing that check.
Right.
You know how we be looking forward to that check, Veronica and Mr. Brooks?
Exactly. When that check comes
I'll be back to you, bro.
And they look forward to it, and they see the reaction, and it just melts, man. I mean, it's priceless.
Veronica, I'm watching you and Mr. Middlebrook listening to Bodie. People know him as Bodie, but Ernest McMillan. You guys got those big smiles on your face, like you just love Bodie. Tell us about Bodie first.
Yes, I don't think that the paper would be as successful as it is without Bodie. He said earlier that when the hard work is done, then he goes out to distribute the paper. But really, Bodie is the face of the paper, and we really treasure what he does, because when he first started, he had a list to go by. But he's so personable and people like him, and he's so committed to what he's doing. He will come back each month with new places to take the paper. So our distribution list grew because of Bodie. So he is so valuable to
Shout
what
out to
we
Bodie.
do.
Let's go to you as the managing editor. How would you describe your job?
Well, my job is to work with Pablo to help put the paper together. I do a lot of the research for stories and articles and to recruit writers and things like that. And we work together to figure out what goes where.
So tell us about the process of getting it so the viewing audience also who wants to be a part of the paper, whether it be for advertising or to be featured in the paper. Tell us about the process as the month started, like they need to get information to you by when, and then you guys start editing things down. Just kind of walk us through behind the scenes, exclusive.
Well, our deadlines for articles is the last Friday before the next edition. So we're asking people who have articles that they would like to submit to get them in by then. But by that time, the paper is pretty much put together. So we're asking, if you have something that you would like to run in the paper, get it to us as early as possible to secure your space, especially for advertisers. We've been very successful in our advertising, not successful, blessed in our advertising and getting the community involved. I would just like to say one of the things that excites me about the community press is when we sat down and talked about this paper. Part of the passion was to share the good news of what's happening in Dunbar. Prior to our paper 5 years ago, all you heard about were the negatives in the community. But once this paper was produced, you saw all of the wonderful things that always existed in the community. So that was the passion behind what we wanted to do. We didn't do a whole lot of, and we still don't do a whole lot of the negatives in the paper because the other medias are doing that. But one thing that I've noticed is more of the other medias are now covering some of the things that we're covering because they now realize that there's more to Dunbar than the negative. So that was one of the passions behind the paper. And we pretty much stuck to that. And I think that we've been very successful in doing that.
Well, I'm very proud of that positive information that's in the paper. I always look forward to reading it. And I keep up the good work. I'll be back to you as well. Mr. Middlebrooks, for the first time I get to you last. I know you like that because you like to show that teamwork and that everybody's equal. That's one of the things that you've always emphasized to me, the teamwork of the staff. Talk about that, the culture of the community press.
And we have about 6 people that is involved with the community press. And each one has a duty that they have chosen to work with us. And when we pull all those things together, then it makes a good whole paper. And when it goes out, like Bodie just mentioned earlier, people be waiting for this paper. And if Bodie or myself or Jackie or any of us late for that, they call us, well, we haven't seen your paper yet. I say, my goodness, baby, it's just been out about 2 hours now. But Bodie, if it wasn't for Bodie, I tell you, we'd be in trouble. I told Bodie one time, we had to do, Pablo and myself had to put the paper out. And I said, Bodie, if you don't be here the next time, I'm going to break your right leg. Because he goes all over Lee County, the Cape, Lehigh Acres, down in Naples. They be waiting for this paper.
Now, we're physically here in a physical location now. We just knew the community press was somewhere in the past, maybe in your, Pablo used to always tell me he's in the man cave somewhere. But now we see the signage on the door, on the building here. What does that do for the paper to have a physical location in the heart of the community?
Now people can come to the office, and when they pass in, I had a statistical analysis done on the traffic that goes by Martin Luther King. Every day there's 40,000 people pass this office. So now I'm just going to say just 1/10 of that. If we can get those in, the advertisement will go up, the pay will go, because none of us get paid. That's right. So we all have this at heart.
People need to know you're a nonprofit, right? Something like that?
Yes, we are.
Right.
So
go
if
ahead.
you want to donate money to us to make this better, you can, Mr. Benson. But I'm just saying, I've had a paper before, which called the People's Press.
Right.
I remember at Riverdale, Suburban Reporter had a paper when I was principal at Riverdale. I said to the Suburban Reporter, give me 1 page per week, and I'll make sure your subscription will increase at least by 10%. It increased by 67%. So people be listening and looking out. People love to see themselves in the paper. So that's why we try to make sure during Father's Day, Mother Day, graduation, because it's all coming out the next issue. This coming Thursday, people are waiting for this coming Thursday because of the environment that we had earlier. Pandemic that we had earlier had limited us to just go to the website. Now, when we go to the website, our Jackie makes sure things is on the website, and she'll say to you, the week before the paper's supposed to be out, Jackie puts on there, don't forget, this Friday is the deadline for. If it wasn't for each one of us have a duty to do, and we make sure we keep on it all the time.
Give that website, Veronica, and their phone number.
The Community Press, FLA.org.
Okay. Phone number 332-2 1073. That's 239 for people who are outside the area. The television show airs in 7 counties. Speaking of 7 counties, the community press is not just in Fort Myers, Dunbar Community, Bodie. You mentioned it, but you're in 3 to 4 counties, right?
Well, I'm in Naples, in Lehigh, Cape Coral. I think we have one in Punta Gorda.
So we're a regional paper. Yeah, people who are looking, no matter where they are, who can see this show and they want to reach the market, they can advertise in the show and they can advertise in the paper and they can be in the paper. That's the point I want to make.
Yeah, we have the locations also in there where they can find them. The stores, the businesses, the churches. They on the inside of the
right. I've seen that. Go ahead. But they're in churches, stores, beauty salons,
liquor stores, everywhere.
Funeral parlors. Anything I'm missing?
And I can just
rec centers and so on.
Something, I just put them in there.
There you go. And when you come back, they're gone.
Yeah, CVS, pharmacy, racetrack.
How has the people who house the paper, where you leave the paper, Veronica, how has that partnership been? They look forward to partnering with you on that as well.
They not only look forward to it, they will call Pablo and say, we're out of papers. Or they'll call Mr. Middlebrooks and say, we need more papers. So it's being received very well. We're very proud of how the community has embraced the paper.
When the paper first started, I think I saw the first issue, Mr. Middlebrooks. I think that was the first issue you handed to me when we were at the church over there. Yeah. Right. You don't know. I remember all of that. You handed it to me. I was sitting there. It was ML King weekend. I was glancing through. I said, this is really nice. And it was in color. Okay. So that time it was, I don't know if it was 15 pages or so. Tell people how the paper has grown since then.
Well, we've grown from 15, 16 pages to we're averaging 40, 42 pages now.
Just like that.
Just like
what
that.
Has technology done? I know you both were newspaper people in the past. Pablo and Jackie, you guys all were newspaper involved in the past. What has technology done in terms of the ability to produce a paper, get it out to market quickly, and so on and so forth?
Well, technology is, I think, is the gift behind it all, especially when it comes to Pablo. I mean, he is such a magician when it comes, and he's always looking to advance himself. I'm sure you've noticed some of the front pages in the last few months that are just so amazing and creative. And so that's all a part of the technology. Just speaking about what he does with technology, we send all of this information to him, but he's really the one that's burning the night oil and using that creativity to put that is his thing. He puts it together
like a quilt, just all the beautiful pieces of a quilt.
Yes. I mean, he's looking at everything from colors. I mean, the things that we don't think about when we look at the paper and we go, wow, that looks good. But behind the scenes, he's actually methodically looking at putting colors together and putting different things together. So technology plays a really big part of that.
It's a good idea for private well owners to test their water at least annually. Most water in private wells is naturally clean and ready to drink. But sometimes, like during a major storm, chemicals and bacteria can leak into groundwater. These contaminants could make you sick, and they can only be detected with lab tests. Fortunately, routine water testing is simple and inexpensive, and it's the best way to protect your family's health. Learn more at floridahealth.gov/wellstest.
Hi, my name is Dr. Cindy Banier, candidate for Florida Congressional District 19. I'm a mom, small business owner, and I'm fighting for our water, our health, and our community. I'm running to be the servant leader the people of Southwest Florida deserve. We need leaders who will listen to and work for the people, not the powerful. Send Mama to Congress to fight for you. Check your voter registration and vote for me, Cindy Banier, in the upcoming Democratic primary. I am Cindy Banier, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Dr. William Glover, Senior Pastor of Mount Hermon Ministries.
And I'm Pastor Cheryl Glover, First Lady and Business Administrator.
Mount Hermon is a progressive ministry with contemporary praise and worship, life-changing teaching from the Word of God, and opportunities to serve the kingdom of God and our community in tangible ways.
The Dew of Hermon Early Learning Center serves children, infants to 4 years old. Our programs include Early Head Start, VPK, School Readiness, and free meals for every child.
For adult learners, join us at Life Christian University, where you can earn an associate, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree in several ministry-related fields.
We are Mount Hermon Ministries,
having a redeeming influence in our community. Come join us.
Southwest Florida, you caught me. Just before I do any of my television shows, I always read the community press so I can know what's going on in Southwest Florida. So Lee Pitts for Lee Pitts Live reads the community press, and you should too. Southwest Florida, welcome back. I'm glad you stayed with us. We've been talking about Jackie for a while in this past interview with the fine staff from the community press newspaper. Shout out to Pablo, the layout man. Jackie Williams is here now, Jackie Matthews Williams. So without further ado, let's get a chance to meet her. Jackie, welcome to Lee Pitts Live.
Hi, Lee.
I know this is not your first time on the show. Let everybody know both of us are in the blue and white.
Yes, we're the Blue and White family. Zeta Pi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Incorporated, and congratulations on being selected as a Black Girl Who Rocks.
Yes.
See, I remember all that?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
What was that like to be selected as a Black Girl Who Rocks of Southwest Florida?
That was an event, and it just was awesome. It really was. It caught me by surprise. I was getting dressed when I got the phone call, and I was like, "You mean me?" And it just caught me off by myself for a second, but I enjoyed it.
And we have here Mr. James Millerbrook, the publisher and advertising director for the community press. Mr. Millerbrook, everybody knows you. You don't need that much of an introduction. But what I want to ask you is, how would you like to be known now that your baby, the community press, all of you want to be known as that math man or that publisher of the newspaper, or are they both equal?
They both equal. Yes.
Why is that?
And here's the reason. I have my mathematics skills is just wonderful. I can tell students why I chose math as opposed to any other career. I tell my daughter sometimes, "Daddy, why did you like math so?" I say, "Well, I didn't like British literature." And courses like some courses that I know I was going to make a C in, but I can go and take a chemistry course or a math course and make that A and make those two become B's then. Mm-hmm. So I say, math is my field that I enjoy, and kids and adults do not like math, they can come to the old man Middlebrooks and they will enjoy math after I talk with them. Because I can tell them how I built a house out of math, how I make money with my trophy companies when I had the trophy company, how I made money with the child care center, how we make, you did not know we had a restaurant on Martin Luther King Boulevard, but it called Anderson Avenue then. Mm-hmm. So we have had a chance to do all kind of things, but all of it just come down to mathematics. Mathematics.
Now,
yes.
How can people get in touch with you for all their math needs, and what types of needs do you feel in math?
Well, we have an article in the paper every month. If a person is having problems in the SAT, the ACT, the GED, you'll be surprised how many males do not have a high school diploma. So if they need some help in any of those, Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, we've been closed for 2 months now, but I do private tutoring right here at the office. But if they need some help, I will be happy to help them. I will make them a genius out of mathematics.
Speaking of, he said the paper, that's the community press paper he's talking about, the preeminent newspaper in Southwest Florida, my favorite newspaper. This is where I go to get my stories for Lee Pitts Live. Is it okay, Jack, if I steal you guys' stories and take them to television?
Oh, definitely. We share.
Jackie, we were talking, I don't know if you heard everything. Everybody was talking about how great your work is as a photographer and how you, get into the community and get these photos. But before we go into that, how did you, because It's just like about 5 or 6 years ago, I started seeing you walking around with a camera. I don't know if I saw you with the camera prior to that. You just sort of got into photography, or you always dibbled and dabbled?
I've always dibbled and dabbled. I found a picture that I took when I was in, I think, high school. I took a course at the Franklin Institute. So I've always loved pictures. I always loved photography. But my job as working in marketing, you have to double up as a photographer for sometimes. So I learned what makes a good picture. And so I'm always listening to other photographers. If I see a photographer out there, I've got questions. I want to know. So I just absorb.
Okay. So the idea, the whole experience of being able to capture all these positive images in the community that in many cases others would never know existed unless you brought that art to the forefront. What does it do for you personally to know that you're documenting the history of our community in such a positive way?
Oh, that does great for my ego, because I love to see my pictures in print. I love to share my photos. A lot of photographers get mad at me because, you got your photos just out there. I says, why would I want to hoard my photos? I want everybody to have their photos. I want them to spread it and share it. So that's what I want to do. I just want to spread the love, spread the photos.
Now, you're the social media and photographer editor for the Community Press newspaper, but you also have Jackie's event photos?
Yes.
Go ahead.
People contact me for birthdays, anniversaries, retirement parties, weddings. I do mostly family photos. I was just at one before I got here down in Centennial Park. I am affordable, and I just want to make people happy. So many times people don't have photos of their loved ones, and one of the greatest honors I've had is to capture their last photos. I'll never forget one of the AK ladies. She was at a party on Saturday night. She passed away, and I captured her last photo.
Right.
So I've been in that predicament 3 or 4 times, and when people need their photos for their obituaries, I've had nice photos they could use. So
let's see what the Big Cheese has to say about you. What do you have to say about one Jackie Matthews Williams?
I'm so happy she's with the Community Press. I know there's other people out there who think they are gooder than Jackie, but there's no one. She knows what to do, how to do, when to do it. And whenever we need it, even sometime I call her late at night. Hey, Mr. McBurns, what you want? I say, I need you to go so and so and so. And she said, okay, I'll take care of it. And then when she finished the picture, she sends it to Pablo, and then she will make a comment about it. And if Veronica has to correct anything on that part, not necessarily correct, but she will add more to it to make it feasible for the people that can read.
I love to see black folk working together like that.
Oh man, you can't.
Jackie, I'm holding up a picture now. This is one of my favorite covers. You didn't know that. Just the way the colors jump out when I first saw it, and the full body, and it just talk about this day and taking this picture and the magic that went into it.
We were down in Estero for the breast cancer walk, and those 2 ladies, I love them. And I was just taking their picture, and when I was going through the pictures later, certain pictures would jump out, and I know when it's a cover. And that was a picture, and I told Pablo my vision was to highlight the pink because pink is the breast cancer color. And he did exactly that, and it came out fabulous. We've gone to like the big picture on the front. So we're all about improving the paper and making it bigger and better, and people are loving it.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have a special edition of Lee Pitts Live at the Community Press newspaper right here on Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in the Dunbar community in Fort Myers, Florida. The little paper with the big news, and they're certainly changing what we see in the newspaper from henceforth and forever. I'm just so thrilled that you guys welcome Lee Pitts Live in here for a day.
Thank you so kindly for coming out with us, Lee.
Much appreciated. We'll see you.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.